as the Mikal Bridges news dropped, Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, as he's one to do, started tweeting out some bombs. But every so often he'll tweet something and be like, well, that's not even a news story. What's going on here? Kevin Durant was apparently, he's like, oh, Houston likes Kevin Durant. Houston likes Kevin Durant. Well, Matt Ishbia, who earlier this offseason said there's not 26 teams that would trade with us right now. 26 teams would be in our position if possible of the 30. I'd love to know what four wouldn't. I wanted to add, I wish that was a follow-up, but I wasn't there in Phoenix at the exit interviews for the for the Phoenix Suns when they ended up making that move. But you don't like the fact, Rob G., that KD seems to be locked in Phoenix if you trust what the owner's saying.
Right, and this all goes back to the offshoot of the Mikal Bridges deal, right? Because everyone was saying, look, the Mikal Bridges is going to the New York Knicks. And then, by the way, like a minute and a half later, Woj tweets out, in conjunction with that Mikal Bridges trade, the Brooklyn Nets and the Houston Rockets have made a trade where Houston is going to send back Brooklyn their rights to their own draft picks that they had from the James Harden deal in exchange for the rights to all the Phoenix Suns picks that they made as part of the Kevin Durant deal. So it was a lot of, just words and stuff people didn't really fully understand because it's not actually picks. It's like draft rights and draft swaps, and you get the first swap as opposed to the third swap, and it was just all a bunch of,
Are you taking notes at home?
Exactly. But the long story short was that the Houston Rockets decided we don't want to have the rights to the Brooklyn Nets tanking draft choices. Instead, we'd rather have the rights to the Phoenix Suns draft choices, even though, by all accounts, Phoenix Suns are not trying to tank. And the reason was, according to multiple outlets, Adrian Wojnarowski, Brian Windhorst, Shams Charania, is because the Houston Rockets were prepared to offer the Phoenix Suns all of their draft picks back, plus some players, in exchange for Kevin Durant. And we had Stephen A. Smith go on First Take saying that he is, quote, reporting on this one. Don't worry about what the Phoenix Suns are actually saying. His reports were that they want to get rid of Kevin Durant. And then this afternoon, their owner, Matt Ishbia, threw cold water on the whole thing and put out a tweet of his own saying, Phoenix loves KD. KD loves Phoenix. We're competing for a championship next year. Don't believe what you hear on television. And I'm here to tell you right now that if the Phoenix Suns are not willing to consider moving off of Kevin Durant for Houston or for whoever, then they are making a colossal mistake. It goes back to what you said in hour one. It's going to be the theme of this entire show. The 3-star model is over. It is impossible to field a competitive team in today's NBA when you have 3 guys making all the money and a bunch of vet minimums. There's too much talent throughout the league. And what we saw from Boston is if your 4, 5, 6, 7 guys are not high-end role players, you're going to get ran off the floor no matter who you face. So for the Phoenix Suns, we've already seen, we have an entire season sample size. We actually have a season and a half sample size of the KD Booker model. What they have does not work. And the best way to get out of this situation that they're in is either to trade Devin Booker, which I would advise against because number one, he's homegrown. Number two, he's only 27, I believe. Or you trade Kevin Durant. And right now, Kevin Durant may not get you a Mikal Bridges 5 first-round picks type of haul, but what he can get you is the right to your own picks from Houston. So if you want to tear it down for one season and build up in the famed 2025 class, you can. Or number two, they can offer you some combination of high-level role players or young up-and-coming players. You can get a Fred VanVleet. You can get a Dylan Brooks. You might be able to get a Jabari Smith Jr. By all indications, depending what happens to the number 3 overall pick, you can get a young stud big man in Alperen Sengun. So if you're Phoenix and you're Matt Ishbia and you're so desperate to be relevant as the new kid on the block here in the NBA ownership group, that you're unwilling to see the forest through the trees to understand that what you have is not getting you anywhere, then again, they would be making a colossal mistake if they just flat out do not consider moving off of Kevin Durant.
I mean, I think they are ultimately making a decision here. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Matt Ishbia at this point, he is so dug in that he's not making this move. Now, I also don't know if like he is this Mr. I want to win now. And ever since he bought the team, that has been his aggression. That has been his plan. Now you could argue about how they determine that plan and how that plan is being executed, but that's his thing. They want to win now, and they did that with trading for Bradley Beal, which was, I think we could all state that was not necessarily the right move to make at the time that they did it. People were excited, but they kind of got the same player 3 times. Now, if I'm trading Kevin Durant for like Alperen Şengün or sort of, I still think I'm in the same place if I'm the Phoenix Suns. None of that seems like something that takes me from where I'm at now to a team that, let's say, would be a top 3 finisher in the Western Conference at the end of the regular season, right? And I think if you can't make a move that gets you there, I would just stick with where I'm at. And again, like you said, it is a theme of today's show. But I trust my basketball people in my front office. Look, we're gonna have to find some guys. We're gonna have to find guys like the Lakers found Austin Reeves, for example, undrafted free agent who can come in and be a starter on an NBA team. We're gonna have to find guys that complement the guys the 3 guys that we have. Because I feel you on the 3-star thing as being dead, and really what it means is the days of 3 guys taking up the majority of your cap space, right? So it's not necessarily like 3-star. You can find 3 stars, knock yourself out. They just got to be on the right contracts, right? They got to be signed to the right deals. It's 3 guys taking up most of your cap. At least for this year, I don't know, maybe I'm just foolhardy. Maybe I'm remembering Kevin Durant of old. I just traded Kevin Durant for like Alperen Şengün or like you said, Dylan Brooks. I mean, that would not let Matt East. I would not sleep well at night if I was Matt Ishbia and I knew I had to make that move. Maybe I just go down with my ship.
Well, he shouldn't be sleeping good right now, anyways. Because what
do you mean, Rob? You 26 of the teams in the NBA wouldn't trade situations with.
They are in salary cap hell. They are in that dreaded second apron. I know that's a lot of minutia for the casual NBA fan, but the second apron means that you cannot realistically improve your team at all. You cannot combine salaries. You cannot take more money back in a trade. You cannot have access to certain exceptions. If you're over the second apron for a number of years, your draft picks actually get frozen and you can't trade them. Like, they are in a situation where, to your point, there is nothing realistically they could do that's going to make them a top 3 team in the NBA. There's nothing realistically they can do that's going to make them the favorites in the Western Conference. So if you're destined to be somewhere in the 4 to 10 range in the Western Conference, why would you have it so that you're stuck there? Why wouldn't you consolidate? Get rid of Kevin Durant, because you can't trade Bradley Beal. He's got that no trade clause, which is, again, good luck with whatever you're going to do with that one, Phoenix. But take Kevin Durant. You get, again, talking to Houston, you get Dylan Brooks, you get Şengün, you get the number 3 overall pick, and now suddenly, whether your team is better or not is immaterial. At least now you have options. You have some kind of flexibility so that you can decide coming up at the upcoming trade deadline or moving forward at next offseason or 2 years from now. You know what? This isn't quite working. We're going to go ahead and flip this. We're going to change that. We're going to move this here, whatever. But right now, as things stand, they can't go anywhere. They're locked in to Beal, Booker, Durant, and NBA purgatory. That's the worst place you can be.
Well, the NBA draft is underway, and we have the first pick in the books. I like it. The Atlanta Hawks have selected Zachary Richelieu.
Who? Butchered it again. Richelieu.
There
we go. Gesundheit. We're gonna get this.
Richelieu. I have
we got like 90 minutes left. We'll get it.
I have a lisp, and it's not gonna help with Richelieu. Zachary Richelieu from France is the newest Atlanta Hawk with the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. Congratulations to Zachary Richelieu. Richelieu.
Who?
Exactly.
God bless you.
Exactly. Congratulations to him, number 1 overall pick. We'll see what happens with the rest of the NBA draft as it progresses. We'll keep you updated as guys are picked. Both the top 2 picks looking like they'll be from France. We'll see what the Wizards do at 2. But Zachary
Richelieu. There we go.
Richelieu.
It's like a dance move.
Just imagine the people in Atlanta trying to pronounce that with the best Atlanta accent.
Oh, my gosh.
Their best Atlanta accent, as now we see on television, Adam Silver going to the podium to make the pick and shake the hands.
They should just call him Ricochet. That sound better.
Hey, you know what's going to happen? Let him come out and go 3 for 14 on the first game.
Then
it'll be Zachary
I saw
Ricochet.
something on Twitter as you were going over that the draft was going on in front of us. They had a photo of Ricochet and Trae Young together, those Photoshop images. They're calling them, get this, Ricochet.
I mean, I've been calling him that all day.
And if he goes 0 for 10, he's going to be Ricochet.
Ah. Ooh. Not to be confused with DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Exactly. He'll be here all day.
Thank you. That's a very Rob Parker of me to make a joke like that.
Wow.
I mean, there was a lot of Rob Parker just now. A lot of Kawhi laugh.
And my cheese was hot.